What's up, Speak For Yourself listeners? It's your boy Shay Sharp, co-host of FS1's Undisputed. I wanted to tell you about my new podcast, Club Shay Shay, where we always do something before two something. Each week, I sit down with a guest for a drink and conversation, and as host and proprietor of Club Shay Shay, I've welcomed in esteemed guests such as Snoop Dogg, Floyd Money Mayweather, LeVar Ball, Isaiah Thomas, just to mention a few. Whether I'm talking to an athlete, a musician, an actor, or a lifelong friend, Club Shay Shay is a place where people share inspiring and motivational stories about their journeys to prominence. The new episode drops every Monday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to Club Shay Shay now and make sure you never miss a new episode. Now, back to Speak For Yourself.
And welcome to Speak For Yourself. Marcellus Wiley, Emmanuel.
Marcellus, question.
Oh, God.
Where can I go to cash my check, sir?
Cash a check? What you got?
You look like a banker.
I like we're doing that. You finally look good with them Cuban zirconias on your lapel, and you over here sniping. You won today, but it's not over. Let's get to our top story, brought to you by Popeye's Chicken Sandwich. That's right. That's your prize right now, Acho. Tom Brady, the GOAT, is just a few days away from trying to win his 7th Super Bowl. But Brady is already considered to be the NFL's GOAT. This man, who is considered to be the NBA's GOAT, is Michael Jordan. Also knows what it's like to have 6 championships on his resume. Look at them two. Brady was asked yesterday what it would mean to break the championship tie with MJ. Listen to this.
Michael's one of my sports idols, so I think he's pretty incredible. And I think for me, it's about being a part of a lot of great teams. And to have the opportunity to play in this game means a lot to me. Hopefully we can finish this season strong and, win a Super Bowl. That's why we're here. That's why we're playing, and make for a really magical season for us.
So, Acho, who has the more impressive career, Michael Jordan or Tom Brady?
You gotta love barbershop conversations.
Oh, let's go.
You gotta love delineating between greats who were so much better than we were at those sports. I love it.
Right.
But we get paid to talk, so I'm gonna do so.
Okay.
Tom Brady had the more impressive career.
Woo.
And I'm not convinced it's close when you really look at the details, but for the sake of argument, I will do just that. Argue. Tom Brady. Let me start like this.
Yeah, you better start someone. All right, start over. Michael Jordan. Answer it that way. You'll be better.
Start like this. One of the dumbest things we've decided to do collectively as sports analysts, as sports people, is punish individuals for going to a championship but not winning.
You're right.
Think about that.
Availability, putting your team in position.
It's one of the dumbest things we've decided to do as sports analysts.
Yeah,
well, LeBron James, he went 10 times, but he's only won 4. Dumb. Well, Tom Brady, he's gone 9 times, but he's only won. It's dumb. Think about other sports, Marcellus Wiley. If you qualify for the Olympic Games, do you want to know what they call you?
Nobody.
An Olympian.
Oh, they do?
That's what they call you.
Right.
They call you an Olympian. You don't necessarily have to win a gold medal. You ain't got to win a silver. You ain't got to win a bronze. You're still an Olympian.
Oh, you
now,
know 4th place?
If you win gold, silver, or bronze, congratulations to you. That is a higher award, but you're still an Olympian. My point being this. The only plausible argument for Michael Jordan, because I studied all night.
Why don't you make an argument for Tom Brady before you try to discount the Jordan argument?
That's not what I'm doing.
I see what you're doing.
The only plausible argument for Jordan is he went 6 for 6. Oh, that's the only one. So now that I've already undressed your argument, and I needed to because I think this now that I've already undressed your argument, big dog, let me make mine. Tom Brady, he won earlier than Michael Jordan did, and he also has won later than Michael Jordan did. Tom Brady won at the age of 24. That was the first one. He won at the age of 41. That was currently the last one, but he might also win another one at 43. Michael Jordan, you would say he was in his prime for 10 years. That was the 10 years scoring titles, scoring champs. You would say he was in his prime for 10 years. Tom Brady's been in his prime since 2007. Mind you, when 2007 hit, he already had 3 Super Bowls in his back pocket.
Oh, so he didn't earn those?
No, he earned them. He was there for them. Don't tell me he didn't earn them. He earned them.
No, I'm asking.
I'm saying
you
he was not in his prime for them.
Oh, so he was right in winning them.
He was not in his prime for them. You heard me. I spoke and I did not stutter.
You didn't.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Tom Brady has been in his prime for longer, and when he got to his prime, he already had 3 different things in his back pocket. Again, I'm gonna save some heat because I know you're gonna throw a jab.
All you've been doing is saving heat. Nothing hot.
I know you're gonna throw a jab, but I will simply say Tom Brady was in his prime for longer. Tom Brady won his first one earlier. He won his last one later. And your argument for Michael Jordan going 6 for 6.
Look at your shoulders. Relax. Boy, talk about fighting a losing fight. You are telling on yourself right now. You know damn well it's Michael Jordan. I might get a goaltending on this one because this one is already in the basket. I shouldn't do anything. Don't touch it, Wiley. Don't touch this argument. But I am, and hopefully the refs will swallow the whistle. This is so easy. Let's start here.
Please.
Let me remove my basketball bias because I tell everyone in the athletic pyramid, it starts at basketball at the apex, at the top. And then everyone falls down into different sports. I'm not going to lie. I'm just talking about my experience. Every single athlete I know, no matter what sport they were good at, great at, or what sport told them they could be great at it, they all still reached over the aisle and said, "Oh, can I play basketball?" Just yesterday, my son, I told you he doesn't take tennis lessons. He's at a tennis practice by himself. He ain't gonna get that bougie on me. But his tennis coach, who was world ranked at one time, tried basketball and failed at it and became world ranked in tennis. It drives my point home. I'm trying to remove that basketball bias because we all tried.
Get it out the way,
Okay,
please.
get out the way. We all try to be at that free throw line with a tank top on and say, "Hey, girl." We all wanted that. But we didn't all get that. And football is not something that you say, "I want to play." It looks at you and say, "No, you're going to play me." And that's what Tom Brady got stuck in. Michael Jordan is playing a game that is greater to play. Not better, not harder, just greater. You're going to get more love. Now let's talk about this. It's not just what you do on the field, Tom Brady, or on the court, Michael Jordan. It's off the field, off the court. Let's just say that Tom Brady's not a cultural icon. Let's just say that. Acho, nice suit.
Thank you, sir.
Would you wear Jordans with those or some Uggs? Would you wear the Brady Uggs edition? What Uggs are they on right now? I know what Jordan they're on right now, but what Uggs? You wouldn't. Let's just say that Michael Jordan represented our country to the world to show how great we are. Tom Brady, with his selfish butt, has never represented our country to the world. He plays a sport that is greatest here and here only. So that said, I'm really waiting for an argument so I can start to go into my nuggets and notes, but let's just start on the surface level. It's not even close. Michael Jordan, you got to say his own name. You don't even abbreviate the name. You better show it with respect. Air Jordan or TB12? The floor is yours.
Come on. I love where you went. But
come on.
I got some issues. And now this is what you got to love about barbershop conversations.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of substance, but a whole lot of filler.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The first issue is, Marcellus, your first argument was that Michael Jordan is more iconic. He is that. Michael Jordan got shoes. Michael Jordan was an icon. Michael Jordan was a legend.
And
Michael Jordan made Michael B. Jordan, the current legend of our time, have to abbreviate his name just to delineate himself because Michael Jordan is that great.
Okay.
So Michael Jordan's more iconic, but his career not more impressive. The second place you went, Marcellus Wiley, was the off-the-field accomplishments. We talking about more impressive career, big dog. You know you struggling when you gotta go off the field. I'm not done yet.
Hold on.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
I thought career was everything you did and touched. They don't just give out those shoe contracts.
We don't get there. You're right. You're right. We don't get there. We don't get there. The last thing you said, which I really take issue with, as you said, Jordan went out there and represented the world. As if Tom Brady wasn't a patriot. As if Tom Brady was not a patriot.
Teammate the country.
So, Marcellus, I'm not going to let you sit here and just undress all of Tom Brady's accolades. But let me just give you a little bit more substance, a little bit more substance.
You are comedy.
When I think about Tom Brady, the objective of a quarterback is to do what? It's to pass the ball and to throw for touchdowns. Throw for yards, throw for touchdowns. That is the primary objective of a quarterback. There are secondary objectives, just like every job has primary and secondary objectives. What is the primary objective of a two-guard? Primary objective of a two-guard, score points. Now, if you want to look, because we can't compare, it's not apples to apples, but what we can do is compare this batch of apples to this batch of apples. And Tom Brady, what is he? Number 1 in the NFL in passing yards, number 2 in passing touchdowns? Okay, so he handled his primary objective at a better clip than Michael Jordan handled
you got a full
primary
screen.
objective. See, I didn't really need the full screen. The full screen just follows your boy because that's what happens. Common sense
you
follows
need help.
common
That's
sense.
what it's saying.
So very simply put, Tom Brady, he handled what his primary objectives are even better than Michael Jordan did. I understand longevity plays a part, but what do you say? Best ability, availability.
It's funny on all those numbers, which, you know, my son could digest it. I saw a lot of 5s there, 6s.
Simplify.
Let's simplify it. League MVPs. Oh, that one wasn't too simple. And it certainly wasn't in favor of Tom Brady. And I also saw all pros or all NBAs. That wasn't close either. That both went to Michael Jordan in this conversation. Let's keep it simple. Tom Brady has played longer than Michael Jordan.
Yes, he has.
And I respect longevity
to
the fullest. But if you're going to play longer, let's play stronger, too. Like, you can't play longer and then have the same amount. And we're talking about the same amount of titles right now, as of today. We're talking about the same amount of All-Stars. But then when you get into that deeper conversation of All-NBA versus All-Pro, it's 2-1 Michael Jordan, +1 as a remainder. We talked about the MVPs, 2 more for Michael Jordan. The job of a shooting guard isn't just to shoot. People say that when they don't really go into the sport of basketball.
It's a primary objective.
Okay. What's the secondary objective? You got to play defense, brother. You got to play both ways in basketball. That's why I learned quickly I'm probably better at football. Because when are we going to get in the huddle? When are we going to take a break? Like, where the clock at that I get to just relax and rest? You get that in football. In basketball, change of possession is routine. Michael Jordan, tremendous scorer. Tremendous defender, doing more in the same possession than Tom Brady is even asked to do, let alone does in those same moments. So I could go number for number, first billionaire athlete ever. That's not fair to Tom Brady because he's not even done yet.
Thank you.
But to close the gap on Michael Jordan, first you got to start closing the gap on Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan gets a $100 million plus royalty check just for the shoes. And you know how the shoes came about? Because he was a baller on this level. Tom Brady's amazing. I'm not trying to rob Tom Brady to pay Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan already paid by himself. But that said, on the field, on the court, I would say slight edge to Michael Jordan. If you want to bring it into totality, it's not even a conversation. Why are we doing this in the A block?
Because here's what you're doing, Sel. You're answering, and first off, let's pause and let's say this. You are not robbing Tom Brady of his greatness, nor am I robbing Michael Jordan of his.
How can we?
That's dumb. That's dumb. I understand that.
Yes.
I understand that. And make sure y'all understand that as well.
Okay.
But so the question isn't who's had a more impressive life. Because that's what you're answering.
I answered career already.
As soon as
it's boring in career. It's not close either.
You bringing up Jordans. You bringing up MVPs. All types of stuff. You bringing up Nike into the conversation.
All pros, all NBAs. I can stick with you.
I like that. Please stick with me there because you're a Columbia man, sir. What do they call y'all? Is it just a Columbia man?
What you mean, y'all? What you mean, y'all?
I'm saying,
during this month, you're going to start saying you people? That's what you're doing? Lions.
Thank you. Okay. You're lying, sir, and you are lying right now. But there are 450 NBA players, Marcellus, compared to the 1,700 NFL players.
It's hard.
So I, again, am no mathematician.
We know
But you let me know. What's easier? Is it easier or more likely to be all NBA if you got to compete with 449? If you got to compete with 1,016?
King of admission.
1,699.
It's harder to be all NBA. You know why? Because it's harder to even make the NBA than it is the NFL. You forget that, King of admission. You always do this with stats. I'm trying to help you. Always
I need no help.
take into consideration the amount of people who can't even qualify to be on the court. Then you start to say, well, how many are remaining? 450. I understand that surface level. But, dog, everywhere, everybody has raised their hand trying to be in the NBA. Sorry, brother.
So here's my thing. So you've already told me that over the course of your life, over the course of these 7 months, you've told me that the most important factor to success is ability, availability, dependability, reliability, all them abilities, correct? That's what you told me.
I can go there. I know what you're trying to do with me, but
that's what you told me.
But if I already told you that, why are you bringing it up again?
I just wanted to remind you and remind everybody of what you said.
All right.
So now, which one of these 2 athletes took a 2-year hiatus?
Michael Jordan. Oh, you saying that? You calling that a tap out?
No. I didn't say tap out. You said that.
I did.
I said hiatus.
What are you implying? What are you implying?
I'm implying if the best abilities is availability, one of these 2 athletes by his own fruition, not by an ACL injury. One of these two athletes took a 2-year hiatus. Now, Marcellus, if we're going to compare GOATs, can we please compare every factor of being a GOAT? Because one, over the course of 20 years, has yet to say, hey, I need, give me a minute. Life is hard. The family issues are a big deal. World issues, pandemic issues, all that. But one of these athletes never took a break, and the other did. And I just don't want you to ignore that since I'm the king of omission. I need you to accept your kingdom of some things as well. Being a lion, sir, and I'm not talking about Colombia.
Can I go? Okay.
Whenever.
That was cute. That was cuter, I should say, because it's been ugly so far. Oh, man, I'm going to use your words against you. Boy, I should have been on the debate team. I didn't have any time. I was trying to play basketball and couldn't do it. You just told me that Tom Brady already had three in the chamber.
He had three in the chamber.
He had three in the chamber. I don't know if you can have three in the chamber, but I'm not a gun specialist. But he had three in the holster, or whatever the hell, already before he even won his last three, correct?
Before he hit his prime.
Before he hit his prime.
Correct, yes,
which
sir.
means...
Yes, sir.
He wasn't the reason of those first three. Let's just be real about that. Oh, so we're having a Scottie Pippen conversation because Jordan was the primary reason for his first three. Now, let's use that. So if we're going to say, Tom Brady, you got three and you contributed, but you weren't the sole reason. Oh, so when did Tom Brady, in his prime, win his first Super Bowl? Oh, it can't be 01. He wasn't in his prime. 03. No, I wasn't in his prime. 04. No. Oh, 2014. Oh, so someone wins three and then says, let me take two off, versus someone who never was the sole reason or primary reason. You win one until 14 years later after you're drafted. Make that make sense. That seems like a longer departure from greatness than a 2-year hiatus. Back to back to back. Let me chill. Let me heal. Back to back to back. Let me dip again. Come on, man. It's not even a conversation. Tom Brady doesn't even have 6, according to you and your prime standards.
So what we have learned over this last 5 months is, one, the resiliency of mankind, but I think just as equally we've learned that Tom Brady is more of a factor in the success of the Patriots than we ever thought. Remember, Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, 47% win percentage. Bill Belichick with Tom Brady, 77% win percentage. So although you want to say that Tom Brady wasn't the primary factor for the first 3 chips, I think we've all kind of learned that maybe Tom Brady was. Now, I'm not going to take away from the defense. What if he doesn't win? What if he doesn't win? Take away from any of them dogs.
What if he doesn't win?
He did.
No, what if he doesn't win this year?
This coming one?
Yeah.
Oh, then at least
what other one is there?
Then it's tied. Then it's tied. I thought you were having revisionist history. You know how you do. What if he doesn't win? I'm like, he already did.
What if he doesn't win?
And Marcellus, the fact of the matter is, Tom Brady can get to 7. Now what? Now what?
Oh.
Yeah, now what?
Yeah.
Now you're done.
Look,
you're done.
But it's not in a perfect way. And that's, look, I don't go to barbershops because this ignorance is pervasive, but I do know what they say inside there, and they would sit there and say, would you rather be 6-0 in the biggest moments and never go to a game 7, which is basically you never played the fourth quarter. You never played the fourth quarter of football. Like, what the hell is the difference? Versus a guy who went to 10 and potentially has 6 or 7. Like, no matter how you slice it, that's a worse win percentage. That means when it was all on you because you had done all the work to get to that final moment, that final paragraph that brings the entire paper together, Tom Brady has failed that moment more so than Michael Jordan. And let's not even get into Tom Brady's passer rating in the postseason, 95, which is league average. Let's not talk about Tom Brady's numbers in Super Bowls before, in postseason, where he's not thrown a touchdown and still won those same games. Like, Michael Jordan doesn't get into the finals and not score.
And let me ask you this, because let's take a step away from this argument so that we can take 2 steps back into it a little bit deeper. Do you fault Jim Kelly? Do you fault those Bills teams?
Don't go to my heart.
I had to.
Don't go to my heart.
I got to go to your experience.
You're going to my heart.
Because it's your expertise. Do you fault the Bills for going to 4 straight and losing? Or are you like, man, y'all get less credit than had y'all not gone at all?
No, you don't get less credit than not going at all.
You get a little bit more. Maybe
not a little bump.
Get a little bump.
Yeah. So, little sugar, little
that's it. That's
all you get.
A little bit of sugar on the grits. A little bit of sugar on the grits.
That's all you get.
Calm down. Family-friendly show. I apologize.
I'm with you. You got no argument right there. I love this, America.
No, if you're going to give credit for going to a chip, how are you going to take away credit from Tom Brady for going to more chips? That's what I'm saying. Jordan has 6. Brady has 6. Brady has gone to more. So if you got a little bit of sugar for going to more, and Jordan has 6 and Brady has 6, where is the sugar that Tom Brady's going to get for going to more? That is my question,
Your question is the same thing we talked about before. Jordan shows up at the bank, bruh. He got $6 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Makes it easy for a bank teller like me to count that, right? Tom Brady shows up. He got $6. Oh, I'm sorry. He has $3, some change, and then some penny rolls. And he's like, it's more than 6. Trust me. But at the same time, I got to add all this up. This ain't the same conversation. You're taking my time. You're taking me to all these steps, loops, barriers. When Michael Jordan just presents this package neatly, concisely, of perfection, it's just a different animal. Look, I could simply say it like this. Michael Jordan, even in his faults, gambling or drinking, whatever we saw in the documentary, hanging out, but they all were winners, right? He's a winner. Vegetable smoothies and avocados and whatever the hell Tom Brady on. Like Tom Brady, and you don't want to go into the gates. The point is, they're not equal on their playing surfaces. And then once you depart from that, think that the gap, the disparity just gets greater. That wasn't an argument. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Cowboys Pro Bowl linebacker Jaylon Smith. We'll ask him what happened this season in Dallas. Acho, you're going to be on the hook for this one. But first, Patrick Mahomes has a chance to repeat as a Super Bowl champ. We'll tell you if he needs to win Sunday to catch Tom Brady. That's next. Speak for yourself. Hey, Speak for Yourself listeners. I wanted to tell you about our brand new Fox Sports app and website, foxsports.com. Reimagined for the modern sports fan. Go ahead, download the new app now. You don't even have to pause this episode. Every day on the new app and website, you'll see the top stories in sports, plus a rich world of written content, videos, social media, and analytics to give you a 360-degree view of the most important stories of the day. Streaming live TV has never been so easy or elegant. Every Fox Sports game, including all pregame and postgame shows, are just one click away. For the extra invested fan, we also go deep with real-time wagering lines, trending prop bets, win probability, and key player projections. So download the new Fox Sports app or visit www.foxsports.com.
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Now, Patrick Mahomes can become the youngest quarterback in NFL history with multiple Super Bowl titles. That's with the win on Sunday, of course. Mahomes is only 25, while his opponent, Tom Brady, just a little bit older. You could say so. Mahomes was asked yesterday what he's learned from Brady playing at 43 and said, quote, I've learned more and more in my young career about what I can do to keep myself available and healthy. I want to play as long as they let me. I hear you, young Pat Mahomes.
Say it, homie.
So, Marcellus, let's talk this one through. Does Patrick Mahomes need to win this Super Bowl to catch Tom Brady?
Yeah, you think? I know you're no mathematician. You say that almost every block. I'm starting to question you and your acumen. But even Acho and his bad math has to know that 2 is on the way to 6. Like, you know, in the direction from going from 1. And mama say, where you going, boy? He's like, I'm going to catch 6. Well, you need to go to 2 first. And I think he literally needs to win this game to catch Tom Brady. But even figuratively, like even in the bigger scope of things. But let's talk about why. Acho, you brought up an astute point yesterday. Once again, I love you because you really bring out the best in me. Not because you add to me, you just make me think again of how great I am when you're texting. Not kidding, let me stop. No, you said it. You talked about a 2-ring swing yesterday in terms of Patrick Mahomes. He needs to win this because it's really going to be a 2-ring swing. Well, that swings both ways. Like, think about it. It could easily be 6-2. Go Mahomes, here we go, a third of the way. Or it could be 7-1. Now, why is 7 so important in this conversation? Obviously, that would be the amount of rings that Tom Brady would have. But also, 7 rings is more than any other NFL player has played in number of Super Bowls. That number 7. No other player has played in more than 6 Super Bowls. Played in. I ain't talking about 1. Played in. And this dude is going to say, not only have I played in 10, I've won 7. So what are the odds that you, Patrick Mahomes, and your availability response and respect for Tom Brady, how are you going to close that gap when no other player has even put themselves in position, let alone won that amount? That's pretty daunting. And let's remember also, Patrick Mahomes, his record potentially could be 6-2 in postseason play. I wonder what the 2 would look like. I wonder where the 2 would point at. I wonder what the 2 would represent. Oh, it will be a loss to the GOAT in the AFC Championship game, 1. And what would the other 2 be? Oh, it would be a loss to that same GOAT in the Super Bowl. You can't be perfect everywhere else and can't beat this guy because last time, using Acho's words against him again, you told me Lamar Jackson has that glass ceiling over him. Figuratively, there's something haunting him called Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, sir.
So if you're going to punish Lamar Jackson because of Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to punish Patrick Mahomes because of Tom Brady, the GOAT.
I agree with that, actually, big dog.
Oh, good. I was ready to fight.
Put your fist down, Marcellus.
Okay.
We on the same side on this one.
Oh, good.
You're exactly right. If Tom Brady goes to 7 and keeps Patrick Mahomes at 1, Patrick Mahomes would need 7 Super Bowls to surpass Tom Brady. Like, not just to tie, you got to get 7 just to surpass Tom Brady. And you already been to 2, Patrick Mahomes. Now, everyone is saying, well, Acho, if Tom Brady can play till he's 43, why can't Mahomes? Let's unpack that statement.
Okay.
There are statistical norms, and then there are outliers. That's what I believe. There are outliers to the norm.
I believe you.
Tom Brady is an outlier. I'm not going to assume that every great quarterback will be able to play to 43. We've seen Drew Brees, sure ballot, future Hall of Famer, fall off the cliff. Hurt this past year, hurt the year before, then had his worst game and the most important game in the last decade this year. So I'm not going to assume that just because you are a physical freak and just because you're a Hall of Famer, which Patrick Mahomes looks like he's in track to be, if not already, that he can play until he's 43. But let's unpack this statement a little more. Because anybody who wants to say Mahomes doesn't need to win this to outdo Tom Brady, you're short-sighted. Maybe Mahomes got 10 good years. Maybe he has 15 good years left. You want to know who doesn't? Andy Reid. Right? Like, Andy Reid's 62 years old, and he's the brains behind the operation. He's the engine to keep the car going. He probably ain't got 15 great years of coaching left in him. Maybe he does, but he again would have to be a statistical outlier. You want to know who really ain't got 15 great years left? Tyreek Hill. You want to know who else doesn't? Travis Kelce. And if we want to assume that Patrick Mahomes will be able to have 2 dynasties, kind of like Tom Brady did, I'm not convinced that Patrick Mahomes will be able to stumble into maybe the fastest offensive player the game of football has ever seen, and also stumble into maybe the best receiving tight end the game of football has ever seen. So for those reasons, Patrick Mahomes must win this one because you do not know how long or if you're ever going to be able to reload the firepower you currently have right now.
Interesting. You said it, but I just want to highlight it with emphasis. You can reload. Tom Brady, through 20 years, reloaded in terms of weapons and even made some guys who weren't weapons into weapons. Correct. Okay, so I'm not going to discount Patrick Mahomes in that forecast. What I am going to say is simple right now. The only way to close the gap is to literally close the gap. I mean, I don't know what other world we live in. I understand how social media right now has people living in an alternate reality because you can post whatever you want and skew how people perceive you. But the reality is still the reality. And I know behind the scenes that Patrick Mahomes sitting on 1 and Brady going to 7, or even Mahomes sitting there at 2 and at 6, there's still a lot of football left to be played. This is $1 million buy-in table, and you're a gambling man. You know about it. I don't need no dude coming up to me with 100 and some thousand talking about, yeah, let me in. Oh, I got 150, 55, 60. Dog, as soon as you start counting them little numbers, you ain't going to make it to $1 million. Brady's sitting there like, yo, I got these chips. And what do you have? You have a chip and some conversation, brother. And it's not enough to talk me into saying that he is the GOAT or in the GOAT conversation. I look at it also like this. When will Patrick Mahomes ever have it this good? He may have it this good for a couple of more years. Correct. But as good as this, what? This dude has played in 53 games, 53 career starts, including the playoffs. He has the most wins, most passing yards, most passing touchdowns, and the highest passer rating of any quarterback ever through 53 games. To duplicate that will be another 53, taking them to 106. You could do that. And you may get to 4 rings. Then you got to do that again. That would take you to 6 rings, and you still haven't surpassed Brady
let's put something in context.
Come on, man.
Greatest defensive lineman of all time, in your opinion?
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith, the one and only. One day we on set, I don't know if you remember this, and I said, hey, Marcellus, how many sacks Bruce Smith got? And he said he got 200. I'm like, God, dog, 200. But then that didn't really blow my mind when you said 200. It didn't.
Okay.
What blew my mind was when you said this. You said, Acho, to get to 200, You either got to play 10 years and have 20 each year or play 20 years and have 10 each year. And that's when I said, bruh. Like, I got to say nothing else. What? So to your point, Patrick Mahomes, if you let Tom Brady get to 7, you essentially have to have the success that you've already had 3 more times. And that's just when you talk track and field, because we talk it so often,
Let's do it.
There can come a point, regardless of how good that last leg is, that person who holds the baton through the finish line, if the stagger's too great, you just can't make it up.
Yeah.
And this game, I think, will dictate the stagger. If Tom Brady gets to 7 and keeps Mahomes at 1, that stagger, I think, will be too great for Patrick Mahomes to make.
Yeah, that longevity. Patrick Mahomes gave props to Tom Brady in part with focus on longevity. He knows that he's great, but he's like, can I be great that long is the conversation. I always bring up J.J. Watt and that mysterious text I got about talk to me in 10 years about J.J. Watt. I'm going to bring up another one that a lot of people don't give credit to, but in terms of talent, there hasn't been a defensive lineman more talented than Javon Curse that I've seen.
Freak.
Thank you. His nickname was the Freak. I'm going to give you one example of how great this guy was. First of all, his first 3 years, he had 36 sacks, 14 and a half as a rookie. Rookie! They saw him coming. He ran a 4.4 weighing 240. It was insane. We went to the Pro Bowl. We had to do a 10-yard sprint. And this is all Pro Bowl defensive linemen, so we all good.
All good.
Coach said, set, go. We all took 1 step. We were taking a 2nd step. We were still in the air. Javon was done. 10 yards sprint. And we looked at him like, it's a whole different animal. Injuries, just not playing the same for whatever reason, can derail anyone's career, including the most talented. Coming up, Cowboys Pro Bowl linebacker Jaylon Smith joins us. We'll ask him about Dak Prescott's future in Dallas next. Speak for yourself. Oh, that's going to be fun.
Hey, Speak for Yourself listeners. It's Charlotte Wilder here to tell you about my new podcast with Mark Titus called the People's Sports Podcast. It comes out every Thursday, and Mark and I take one of the big stories of the week, and then we go off on tangents you never saw coming. This might mean that we start talking about the Dodgers winning the World Series and end up wondering if Knicks fans deserve happiness, or begin with LeBron's greatness and end up drafting our ultimate beer league softball team made up of old athletes. Whatever it is, the only rule of the show is that it has to be fun and funny, because these days we could all use as many laughs as we can get. So check it out wherever you get your podcasts and come down weird sports rabbit holes with us. We can't wait to have you. Now, back to Speak for Yourself.
Welcome back. We're joined now by the heart of the Cowboys defense. Pro Bowl linebacker Jaylon Smith has started every game for Dallas the last 3 seasons and has the 4th most tackles in the NFL since he came into the league back in 2017. He's also a Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. Jaylon, welcome back to Speak for Yourself, big dog.
Yes, sir.
Look at that.
What's going on, baby? I appreciate y'all having me on. How y'all doing?
No question. We good.
We're doing well, man. You're doing well as well with your tackle numbers consistently rising. How do you approach the offseason to keep improving year to year?
Man, it starts with the evaluation of each game. Understanding scenarios that went wrong, taking the good and the bad, and figuring out, how can you take that next level? As an elite athlete and player, it's all about how can you, accomplish what God has given you and reach your full potential. You can never be satisfied. So that's really what comes down to this offseason, man. We missed the playoffs, very disappointing. Had to overcome a lot. And with that adversity, it's a lot that we're gonna be able to learn from. So looking forward to getting after it this year.
Now, Jaylon, there's been a conversation, an argument about your play, man. And I saw you even took witness to it as well. When you told reporters, hey, all this criticism about me,
What'd you say?
Watch the tape. Now, I just talked about how you've been improving year to year, but there is a perception that you're not. Let's talk about that.
Man, you talk about media and critics and things of that nature. It's all great for the game, but you get into the realness of scheme and what's supposed to be going on, who's supposed to be in what situation, and things of that nature. It gets a little more complex, and for me, it's just about improving each and every week. Not only individually, but as a team. And as long as we can grow, and overcome those hardships, that's what matters. The last 4 or 5 games, defense being able to come together and really learn and grow and cause some turnovers and make some game changes. That's really the direction that we want to head in. So we just got to continue to grow, continue to rise. For me, I'm my worst critic, and I'm always looking how I can become my best self. So you just got to continue to grind, man.
Man, Jaylon, first I got to say thank you, bro, for not dressing up, because you're the only one that could have outdressed me in this conversation. I've seen you on game day, and you my only competition, Jaylon. So that's my first thing is thank you, big dog.
The swag is there. The swag is there for sure.
No question. All right, let me ask you this. First off, let's go back, because some people may not know your history. I remember watching you at Notre Dame when y'all played Texas, and then you got hurt in your bowl game. What all did you injure? Remind me.
ACL, LCL, and have peroneal nerve damage, which gave me drop foot.
Some people thought you would never come back from that. Take me through the mindset of how did you rebound from that?
Simple, man. A clear-eyed view. I talk about it a lot. I hound on it, but it's my motto. It's how I live. It's how I operate. Having a focused vision, a determined belief, and earn dreams. That's really what helped me overcome everything that that was put upon me. It's a blessing to be able to play this game. Like you said, people thought I would never ever play the game again. And being dropped out of the first round and having to sit out my rookie year, all of that motivated and fueled me. But for me, I embraced each moment, and regardless of critics or anything, nothing can faze my joy and my work ethic, and just how I love the game of football. I get more excited when my guys are making plays. I probably got a handshake with everybody on the team. It's a blessing, man. You got to remember to have fun playing this game of football, and that's why I love the opportunity.
Let's talk about some of them guys, because y'all got some names on that defense. D-Law, yourself, LVE, Van Der Esch. You got some names, you got a whole bunch of talent, but why can't the defense seem to put it all together?
In that 2018 season, talk about the elite play, and that season we made the playoff. And we're just able to come together and gel as one unit and play together as a team, operate under adversity when our offense needs us, and just being able to create different turnovers, stopping the run. It's some of those basic things. It had nothing, these past 2 years, had nothing to do with the lack of talent or anything. It's just a matter of us coming together and doing the little things consistently. And that's what we're looking forward to getting back to. Like you said, being a leader of the defense, it starts with me. And, I love being held accountable. I just love the game. I love the grind. I love being able to compete with my brothers, and you always going to get my all with me.
Now, to keep it simple for those who haven't played the game, it's about coaches and players just executing through their communication, through their trust, through their schemes, through their talents. It's all about that execution. What was it about Nolan's defense?
You're not supposed to say that name, Marcellus. You're not supposed to say that name right now.
What was it about the defense that Nolan had control over that had the Dallas Cowboys playing at a historically bad level?
Man, all I know is at the end of the day, the players got to play.
What about the beginning of the day?
We got to get it right. We got to get it right. It's on the players at the end of the day.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just being a man. That's being a leader.
Yeah.
We got to make it happen.
Okay. I respect how politically correct you are, but since you want to say the players got to make plays, we got to talk about the players. Jaylon, you in the locker room right now, bro. We all played the game, so keep it a buck with me. One of your defenders during the course of the season, he said, and I understood what he meant, but it came out wrong. He said, you can't expect us to run to the ball every time, max effort. Can you kind of translate that? Or did you really condemn him for that statement like, hey, bro, you on your own. I run to the ball every play?
I mean, honestly, we all know the standard. Even my brother that made the comment, you know, we all know the standard, and that's 100% effort at all times. And when you make mistakes, and when you make that mistake, it's just about being held accountable and getting back to it that next play and that next opportunity. But the standard is you must have an elite defense, and to be elite, everyone must run to the ball. Your secondary must tackle. And that's just some of the codes that we've been taught and we live by. And we just got to continue to grow and get back to where we need to be. Looking forward to this next season that's going to come.
Now, Jaylon, I'm loving this interview, not just because of what you're saying and keeping it real as you can in these conversations, but the reality is I hate when you get an interview with somebody and the first thing they want to talk about is the quarterback. You be like, damn, you got me up here and you talk about Dak. Well, let's talk about Dak right now because we gave it enough time to talk about the team, talk about you and your individual play and greatness. But there was a 1-3 start when Dak was healthy, as Dak is deemed a franchise quarterback. Please tell me what led to that slow start for you guys this year.
Heavily part of it is definitely the defense. We weren't clicking. From an execution standpoint, just we weren't playing together as a team. You got a bunch of dominant elite players individually. Got to be able to come together as a team and understand the scheme, understand where we're supposed to be, and then go out and execute. So definitely early in the season, you see that. And then if you look at games later in the season, gelling together, excitement for each other, causing turnovers, celebrating, having fun. That's really what led to the change of what you've seen later in the season from our defense that can obviously help an elite offense.
I respect that. Now, you've seen a whole bunch of big-name quarterbacks making moves or want to make moves. Stafford allegedly gone. Jared Goff switching spots with him. Deshaun Watson, he wants out. Would you be surprised if y'all have a new quarterback next year?
Dak is our man. Dak is our guy. He's gonna be our QB. So that's what I'm riding with.
Well, let's talk about the quarterbacks in this Super Bowl. Let's fast forward. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, you've seen both. Talk about that matchup and who do you have as a favorite in this Super Bowl?
Man, Tom Brady is the GOAT. Tom Brady is the GOAT. But I'm rocking with the Kansas City Chiefs. I got a couple former players, man, my teammates, my boys, man. Shout out Anthony Hitchens, Damian Wilson, Taco Charlton, man. Go and get y'all a ring. Another one.
He said, but. Yeah. Hey, I got one.
That wasn't analysis.
You talk about your former homeboys. Let me talk about mine, bro. You know, I played for the Eagles, even though I grew up in Dallas. I got to ask you, man, you saw Carson Wentz at his best. You've seen him now at his worst. You played against Jalen Hurts. Who's better? Like, just keep it a buck. Like, who's better?
Ooh.
I believe the what they have in common, they both possess dog. They both have some dog in them. That's what I love. But I think it's about what do you want and what best fits your team. And I'm not the general manager or director of player personnel over there, so we don't like the Eagles.
All right, I get you. I let you off the hook with that one, but that's two, Jaylon. Chill out. Before we let you go, this is something you are the general manager, the president of. The Jaylon Smith Minority Entrepreneurship Institute. Talk to us about that.
My purpose beyond athletics. Started MEI a couple years ago, and in efforts to close the economic and educational gap that exists in this world today, particularly in the Black and Brown, the Latinx community. There's so many ideas, so many great ideas and leaders that want to be able to build and create, but don't have the access to financial funding, the mentorship, to helping put together their infrastructure. So I've created the Minority Entrepreneurship Institute to help in this and reduce this scandal that exists today. I think equity can definitely attribute to true equality. So it's really my purpose. I've committed $2.5 million over the next 10 years. And this is what I love. I'm just trying to help, man.
Jaylon, keep helping. Man, help me too. Good Lord, what a commitment. Hey, man, congratulations. Continued success to you,
Hey, Sam,
man.
real quick, man.
What's
Jaylon,
up?
I thought you got all them muscles from working out. I see now it's from bobbing and weaving these questions. Okay, you ain't slick.
Come on,
you
man.
ain't slick. I'm going to catch you off air, bro.
Love it, man.
Hey, man, I could wear that pink better than you. I'm going to send you some glasses, man.
See,
I'm going to send you some CVs,
He's doing
man.
too much now, Marcellus.
Hey.
He's doing too much. It's time to go to commercial.
Hey, the referee wants y'all to keep fighting on this one. All right, continued success to you, Jaylon.
Yeah.
Coming up, the Packers shut down trade rumors for Aaron Rodgers. We'll tell you if the MVP frontrunners should trust Green Bay. Next, speak for yourself. Jaguar better than you, I'd say. Welcome back. Our next guest is one of the best to ever do it at wide receiver. Hall of Famer, Terrell Owens. T.O. is in the top 3. I finally said it right. All time. I said top 3 all time in receiving touchdowns and yards, and is a member of the NFL's all-decade team of the 2000s. T.O., welcome to Speak for Yourself, big dog. Look at that. The homie's right here.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm glad to be on the show. I've had a chance to witness you guys from afar.
Uh-oh. Is that good or bad?
Okay, give us the report card since you want to talk.
No, it's it's all good. You know, Marcella, we go back and forth. You know, I'm gonna keep it 1,000, no capping. But no, it's been enjoyable. You know, you got your sidekick, the new sidekick right here.
I do what I can, big dog. I do what I can.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you bringing a lot of vernacular to the show, so which is good. You know, I mean, not that Marcellus doesn't.
Oh, here we go. You shooting at both of us. Which one is it, T.O.? You might
No, I'm just saying, not that he doesn't, but I like what y'all bring to the show, though, man, for real.
Nah, respect, man. And you're obviously a Hall of Famer, man. Had one of the best careers ever, especially at your position. And you've also played in the big game, the Super Bowl, where you excelled.
Right.
9 catches for 122 yards on one leg, basically. You had a broken leg. What is your best advice on how to handle the Super Bowl, the spotlight, and the game itself?
I mean, it's honestly, it's just like, you know, those pre-game jitters, you know, you're getting ready. Even just like if you're a rookie, you're getting ready for your first game. You're excited. You know, there's a lot of anxiety. And, you know, you guys have played the game. Once that whistle is blown, you kind of get that first little initial contact, a little hit, tackle, whatever the case may be. Then it's just like another game. But obviously the stakes are a lot higher because everybody is watching. This is where all that preparation goes into play, to be honest, because, you know, there's no room for error. All the things that you've kind of fine-tuned and the mistakes that you made throughout the course of the season, this is where you can't make those mistakes because this is not like a best-of series like, you know, baseball or basketball. This is one game. This is win or go home. So you have to just go in there, man, with your best foot forward, understanding your techniques and everything as far as your positions are concerned, and just go out there and play your best brand of football, not only personally, but as a team.
T.O., many consider you one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time at your position. Now, I've heard you in these conversations. You don't care so much about stats as much as you care about talent. So let's talk about the 2 quarterbacks in the debate right now, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Who's the greatest in your eyes? Can Patrick Mahomes challenge Tom Brady as the GOAT already?
No, absolutely. When you talk about, I guess, what they've done, I guess, in the infancy stage of their careers, Patrick Mahomes, he edges out Tom Brady because Tom Brady didn't really become Tom Brady, the great of all time that everybody is talking about right now, till later on in his career. You look at what Patrick Mahomes has done in the first couple of years of his career, and now this is his second Super Bowl. So when you talk about the greatest in that aspect of it, I'm leaning more towards Patrick Mahomes. But obviously, the greatest of all time in conversation, you have to throw Tom Brady in there. My greatest of all time quarterback is Joe Montana. If you want to throw Tom right after that, you can do it. But greatest of all time for me is Joe Montana.
Now, it's interesting you say that because you played with Andy Reid a couple years. We saw that. It was amazing to watch you guys play, and it was hell on us as a defense trying to defend you guys. But there is a difference between even you guys in terms of how prolific you were and how this offense looks right now. Can you identify those differences?
I'm not. I can't. I mean, it's eerily similar. When you talk about the way that Tyreek Hill is playing, you think about how Kelsey is playing. When I played with that Philadelphia Eagles team that went to the Super Bowl, we had some equal talent that is very, very similar to what they have right now. I'm not surprised at the success that Andy Reid has had being there in Kansas City, because he's going to put his best players in positions to succeed and to win. You look at Tyreek Hill. This guy was probably looked at as, at best, probably a special teams guy or a slot guy. This guy has basically evolved his career as a receiver. He's proven himself. He's not a special teams guy. He's not a gadget guy. This is a prolific type of receiver. This guy, he's small in stature, but he plays big in big games. He'll go up and get your 50-50 balls, make those 80-20. You think about Kelsey, what he's done at the tight end position over the course of the years that he's played. He's rewriting the record book. When you think about the Tony Gonzalez's, your Rob Gronkowski's, he's putting his name up there. Just George Kittle's, Travis Kelce. What Andy Reid has done with that personnel, obviously, a lot of it has to do with the quarterback position. It's groomed for success.
Let's talk Tyreek Hill, because I actually have that written down to ask you. You think he gets enough respect as a receiver? Like, you put him in the top 5, you put him in the top 3, where you put Tyreek Hill?
You have to put him in the top 5 as it relates to right now and what he's done, because you look at his numbers. He doesn't strike you as your top 5 receiver because of his stature, because he's a small guy. But that doesn't matter when the numbers speak for themselves. So again, this guy right now, he's a top 5 receiver. Look at his stats compared to some of the guys that people are putting in their conversations as some of the top receivers in the league. So again, you can't deny the fact or overlook somebody like a DK Metcalf because he's super imposing. You look at Julio Jones. These guys right here, they're 6 feet and above. You're not going to get that out of Tyreek. But if you take that away, if you take the names away and you just put the numbers in front of you, you don't know who those stats belong to.
I'm glad you putting some respect on Tyreek Hill's name, because it seems like Scotty Miller is not, in terms of wanting to race Tyreek Hill. Now, you actually raced. Oh, don't do that. You actually raced Tyreek Hill. We saw him. He got you, but you're an old man out there getting it right. Damn, I couldn't believe you kept it this close. But is Tyreek Hill the fastest player in NFL? Come on, T.O.
As far as I'm concerned, absolutely. That dude right there, as you see that clip, he came out the blocks like a shot out of a cannon. Like I said, people don't realize I'm 7.5 months removed from surgery. So again, for me to do what I was doing and what I did back in July, like I said, it was a test for me to see where I was. But when you talk about one of the best wide receivers right now in the league, he's definitely the fastest that I've seen.
Did I just hear you want a rematch once you get fully healthy? Did I hear that?
Absolutely. Rematch.
We're going to throw Scotty Miller in there, too, and see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, throw Scotty Miller in there, because I have no idea who this guy is until I start watching some highlights of the Buccaneers. But, hey, if he's able to be used the way that Tyreek is being used, they may give them a challenge in the Super Bowl. But right now, Scotty Miller, right now, he's just trying to get him a little press for himself. He's had a few touchdowns, rightfully so. Hey, so we'll see.
Hey, T.O. basically said anybody can get it. Everybody. Hey,
y'all. No doubt.
Hey, let's go to one of your former teams, man, because I know you never sugarcoat it. You always keep it 100. Eagles, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts. What should they do?
I think they should go with Jalen Hurts. I think they saw at the end of the year what this guy is capable of, and he's only going to get better with time. It's just like wine, you know what I mean? You age it, you play with it, you know what I mean? You put a few wrinkles here and there with this game, and that's why everyone saw the success of Jalen Hurts toward the end of the year, and everybody was puzzled. I'm like, okay, well, why is he having such success and Carson Wentz wasn't? They played behind the same offensive line. If you're a smart head coach and if you're a smart offensive coordinator, you're going to design plays catered to those individual strengths. And that's what they did. You look at what Jalen was able to do the last 4 or 5 games of the season. They catered to his strengths, and he's a bit more mobile than a Carson Wentz. So I definitely would say, to Carson's defense, his injuries probably has played a little bit into why he hasn't played well. But at the end of the day, You saw it for yourself. Optics does not lie. You want to build and go for the future, go with Jalen Hurts.
Man, I love me some T.O. You already know this. We've been friends for over 2 decades, but I need you to clean up a conversation and keep it one thou wow as you always do. There was a GOAT conversation I think you and Randy Moss had without Jerry Rice being there, being present, as Jerry Rice is recognized as the GOAT. And in that conversation, it came out whereas Randy Moss may be the GOAT. I have professed time and time again that the greatest receiver of all time is you, T.O., even without you being present. Now, that said, I gave you your flowers. Clean up the conversation. Who's the greatest receiver of all time?
I appreciate that tremendously, Marcellus. I've never put myself above Jerry Rice. He was the standard. He was the blueprint, the benchmark for what I became. But I would never say that I was better than him. But again, I did some things equally the same, and if not better than him in certain aspects of the game because of our physical stature. But when you talk about the greatest of all time, it's Jerry Rice by far. If you want to go with Jerry Rice #1, you can put me in there at 1A based on where you put me. But yeah, I've always put Jerry #1, myself #2, and then Randy #3. And Randy's obviously, like I said, he has a lot of confidence. He put himself above both of us. But when you look at the tape, you roll the tape, the body of work speaks for itself. I was one of those guys. I evolved into the receiver that I became. I wasn't the receiver that Randy was early on in his career. But when you saw the trending, the upward trend of my career, I got better and better. I was able to run every route in the route tree. I did the grind work. I blocked. There was never a situation where anybody could say, oh, I didn't play full go. I didn't play 100%. I played 181% every snap. That's just how I was wired. And so when you look at it, I'm always going to say Jerry #1, I'm #2. And like I said, if you want to have a discussion about it, just roll the tape. The way I practiced was the way that I played, and the way I played is the way I practiced.
Hey, I cheers you to that, brother. I'll sip one with you. And speaking of sipping one, I need to buy some beverages for this Super Bowl Sunday. It's a hydration situation. Yeah, I see you got some wine for me to check out. Talk about the wine, T.O.
Yeah, man, this is something I've been working on, man, probably the last year or so, and really have developed a palate for wine. Now, obviously, being in San Francisco, that was my first really experience. It wasn't a pleasant one, but the last few years, like I said, I've kind of delved off into it, tried to develop my palate for different types of wine. And I have my wine on the market now. It's called 81. If you think about the community, the wine community, everybody drinks a red wine. So I wanted something not so dry. I wanted something that was easy on the palate. It's smooth. When you're even looking at the label of my my wine bottle, I was very creative. Just as I was on the football field, I was very part of the process. And when you think of a Cabernet, some of the descriptions are big, bold, dry. The last one doesn't describe me, but when you talk about big and bold, that's me. And obviously, again, to give you a little of the tasting notes of it, it's a ripe cherry. It's kind of a little hints of cinnamon aromas. What else can I say? Plum preserves, dark chocolate.
You've been working on your
spicy. A little spicy toasted oak. Yeah, a little spicy toasted oat. So I know a lot of women, you have a lot of women and a lot of that watch the show, even describing that. I know somebody would say, oh, well, he's talking about himself. Dark chocolate, spicy toasted oat. No, everybody know. I'm talking about my wine. I'm talking about my wine. This is what I'm talking about right here. So, yeah. So if you want to get it. Hey, if you want to get it, go to 81vino.com. I'm offering signed and unsigned bottles, and we made it affordable, first and foremost.
Oh, that's love right there. I didn't know that was T.O. or Marcus on Boomerang right now. Boy, you bringing this
How did I do promoting my own wine?
Hey, my address is still the same. Send me some, and I'll help you promote this at the same time.
I already got you. I got some on deck from my man Ach over there. He's a very distinguished guy with the vernacular. Maybe he can be a pitch man for my wine.
I got you, T.O.
Oh, love it, T.O., man. Much respect, continued success, big dog. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
Brody.
I hope the wine's 81 proof. Man, that's strong.
Hey, and just like yourself, speak for yourself.
My dog.
It speaks for itself.
All right, T.O., damn it. Go drink some wine somewhere. Get out of here. All right, coming up, Packers shut down trade rumors for Aaron Rodgers. And we'll tell you if the MVP frontrunner should trust Green Bay. That's next. Speak for yourself. Well, 81 proof wine sparked trade speculation after their loss in the NFC Championship game when he said his future is uncertain. Yesterday, the Packers GM said he will, quote, absolutely not trade Rodgers and added, quote, we're really excited not only for next year, but the years to come. But Rodgers' former teammate, TJ Lang, says he will be, quote, hell-bent on some revenge towards the front office. Take a listen.
I think he's going to be hell-bent on some revenge, man. I think he was quietly pissed when they took Jordan Love a year ago. I think he's going to make him pay, man. I think he's going to want some sort of new deal where they guarantee a couple more years for him, security-wise, being in Green Bay. I don't think he wants to go anywhere, but I think he's going to hold their feet to the fire and say, hey, you're going to keep me around. A, you're going to pay me, and B, you're going to bring in some players that I want to play with where we can take this next leap.
So, Acho, Aaron Rodgers, should he trust the Packers?
Can't do it. Won't do it. Marcellus, I heard one time a coach told me, your actions speak so loud, I can't hear what you're telling me. The Packers' actions speak so loud about this matter. I can't hear what Packers management is telling, and it speaks so loud that I loudly have to get up and go to the big board and show you exactly why they can't trust Aaron Rodgers. Now, Marcellus, you know I'm in my comfort zone, in my sweet spot when I'm over here at the big board.
Yes, you are.
Because I could really just tell y'all why they shouldn't trust him. But I got to show y'all, think about it. Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, since the turn of the century, that's been the Packers quarterbacks, 2 surefire Hall of Famers. But they only got 1 Super Bowl to show for it. Now, I'm just going to take y'all down a list of teams and down the list of quarterbacks that got more Super Bowls than those 2 surefire Hall of Famers. Now, the team and the quarterback combo that have 2 more Super Bowls than them at the top of the list, Kerry Collins and Eli Manning? Wait a second. Y'all got 3 Super Bowls? You want to know who else does? Matt Hasselbeck and Russell Wilson?
Oh.
Y'all got 2 more Super Bowls than Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, but now you also got several teams that have made 1 more appearance than them 2. Talk about Kurt Warner and Jared Goff. Wait, better than Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers? Then you got Jake Delhomme and Cam Newton? Come on, Marcellus. Now, Marcellus, this one hurts me to have to say because you know it's near and dear to my heart. But Donovan McNabb and Nick Foles, they got more Super Bowl appearances than Aaron Rodgers. You got Colin Kaepernick and Jimmy G. Oh, that don't look good. And then with this Super Bowl coming up, Brad Johnson and Tom Brady and the Bucs already have more Super Bowl appearances than the Brett Favre-Aaron Rodgers combination over the last 20 years in Green Bay. So I don't care what Packers management says, Marcellus. When I look at a list like this, when I look at those 2 names, and then I look at everybody else, I can't trust them because the Packers' actions say they not trustworthy.
The great Chuck D said it like you just said it, Acho.
What'd he say?
Can't trust him. No. Can't trust him at all, man. The actions, even the words. How does a front office, after getting caught and exposed trying to rob Aaron Rodgers, because that's what happened, drafting Jordan Love, you was like, oh, we got him. They tried it. We tried it, then, oops, we just got caught. We just got exposed. How do you come out on record and say, I don't have to do a lot of reassuring because Aaron Rodgers' play speaks for itself? You don't have to reassure him? You think his play speaks for itself? Oh, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, you know how I take that same statement? Oh, you got a lot of reassuring to do because you drafting Jordan Love and not drafting skill players that I need. That speaks for itself as well. Here's a bad situation to be in, caught on the seesaw if you're Aaron Rodgers. And it's the seesaw effect of love and hate. Let me tell you why. They're only loving Aaron Rodgers right now because they're forced to hate where Jordan Love is. Think about it. They drafted for his succession. They drafted to move on from Aaron Rodgers sooner or later, but probably sooner. And what happened is they looked at Jordan Love and realized, dang, he's down here. So that makes us love Aaron Rodgers up here. But as soon as Jordan Love starts to be who Jordan Love is supposed to be, where's Aaron Rodgers' love going? Down, down, down in this seesaw effect. Can't trust an organization that doesn't supply you with the proper resources. Look at this. Haven't used a first-round pick on an offensive skill position player since Jordan Love. And then before that, it was Aaron Rodgers. No running backs, no wide receivers, no tight ends. Are you kidding me? He's thrown 1 touchdown pass to one receiver / tight end in his entire career, and that's Mercedes Lewis.
It's a first-round pick.
That's a first-round pick. Sad. Don't trust him, Aaron Rodgers. Keep balling, though. Coming up, Tom Brady has led a team not named the Patriots to the Super Bowl. Ooh, look at that. We'll tell you if this will be his greatest Super Bowl win ever. Next, speak for yourself.
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Tom Brady is making his 10th trip to the Super Bowl, but his first as a Buccaneer. Now, Tampa won their 3 playoff games on the road, and if they win Sunday, they would have beaten future Hall of Famer Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and former MVP Patrick Mahomes. Brady said yesterday that winning the Super Bowl would, quote, make for a really magical season. So, Marcellus, this is going to be hard to dissect, but we got to do it. Would this be Tom Brady's greatest Super Bowl win?
Absolutely. Not hard to dissect for me either. I'm going to give you this sentence. An over-the-hill quarterback goes to the worst franchise in sports history and becomes the first to play a home Super Bowl game. Does it get any more stacked against you than that? No, it doesn't. So in expectation, I'm talking about before we saw the results. Expectation in the offseason. Yeah, this is his greatest Super Bowl accomplishment if he gets pulled this off. Age ain't nothing but a number. Age ain't nothing but a number. Aaliyah coming on. Respect. Tom Brady has been doing this for so long, man. It's nearly insane to think about his levels of greatness and to really pair them against each other and trying to say which one is better. But then you have to look at what did you expect? Year 1? No. Year 2? No. Year 4, 5? No. All the way through year 20. When did you ever say it's not going to happen again? This time. And it's happening. So, yeah, this is the greatest one.
I love that sentence you gave me. What was it again, sir?
Over-the-hill quarterback goes to the worst sports franchise in history and plays a home Super Bowl game.
Can I give you one?
The first.
Can I give you a sentence myself?
Yes.
Down 28-3 in the third quarter.
Ooh.
Can I get that's it?
But you put yourself in that position. Okay.
We did.
All right.
But because we do not know how the Super Bowl will turn out, assuming they win it, because that's the clarification of the question, I got to talk about down 28-3 in the third quarter against the Falcons 2016 season against the current MVP. Like Matt Ryan was the MVP that season.
Okay.
So as good as Patrick Mahomes has played over the course of his career, Matt Ryan that season was playing at a higher level compared to the competition. You down 28-3. In the Super Bowl against the current MVP, the largest Super Bowl comeback we had seen in NFL history thus far was 10 points. And you came back from down 25 in less than 30 minutes of play. Mind you, you started off the year that season suspended. Put yourself in that situation. You ain't getting no credit for that. But you didn't start off the season suspended. So now you have to come in after 4 weeks. You ain't practiced with nobody. You ain't played with nobody. And you hit the ground running. 28 touchdowns, 2 interceptions en route to the Super Bowl against the MVP where you trailed 28-3 and then you came back and won. I don't know, Marcellus. That's a hard storyline, sir.
It's hard, but it's soft in the middle because the Patriots were favored by 3 points in that game. They found themselves down 28-3. Nobody told you to get down like that. That's why I hate fourth quarter comeback. Fool, you've been sorry for 3 quarters. That's on you too as well. But how about this one? They're 3-point underdogs. Oh, they're not supposed to win this game, so they may win this game. That's why I got to poke at that. Dog, this is almost as crazy as it sounds that this dude is 43 years old when you're not even supposed to be playing, let alone playing at home, let alone playing in the Super Bowl. He got 10 years on Jesus. Like, they're being real. And Jesus, they didn't respect him fully when he was here. And then when he's gone, he the Messiah. Same thing happened with Tom Brady right now. It's unfathomable what's going on. And y'all ain't going to respect it low-key until he's gone. It's fine. He got 51 disciples. Jesus only had 12. But I'm going to respect that. Coming up, Uncle Jimmy will settle our debate on who had the more impressive career. Your daddy going to text you now. You mad? Michael Jordan or Tom Brady? That's next. Speak for yourself.
I can see Tom Brady walk on water.
Before we go, Uncle Jimmy has something to say about our debate on who had the more impressive career between Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. Get out, Get him.
Hey, man, I got a question. Is this swag wars thing over? Or did Wiley tap out during a commercial break or something?
I tapped out a little bit today. It's not good.
Hey, man, look, I remember back in the good old days, at the beginning of the show, y'all would compliment each other on how well y'all look. Now, Acho just came out here today talking about, where I cash my check at, dog? Where I cash my check at? Because I know I look good. I told you, money changes you. Acho comes out here every day, dressed like a baller. Wiley, you to the point that you come out here dressed like a high school principal. You getting mad because Acho running all throughout the hall. Stop running in the hall. Acho, you need to act your age. Pick on somebody your own size. Or at least somebody in your own tax bracket, because this swag thing's getting ridiculous. So, Acho, I'm here to tell you,
what up, Aunt?
You won the best dress award for the day. Okay?
Appreciate you, Aunt.
So that's good.
Come on, Aunt.
Because you got knocked the hell out in the A block for trying to compare Tom Brady to Michael Jordan. Look, man, Tom Brady played football. It ain't no way in hell they gonna let him get hit like they did Michael Jordan. Get the hell out of here.
Yep, there it is. And I won Swag Wars yesterday.
You had a good day.
For the first time.